Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to hear the truth and the whole truth, a la Deontay's Boxing Nation. Now, I've seen this all before. I've seen this all before, guys. Listen, I'm going to let you know why this fight, Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua, will not happen until the year 2020. Now, the first thing you got to do is you got to stop listening to these boxing channels or quote-unquote boxing gurus on YouTube. You know, the guys that go around making videos in the YouTube boxing community, because there's a bunch of channels out here that make videos talking about boxing. And the reason you got to stop listening to these guys is because all these guys do is report what the fighters or what Eddie Hearn say. That's all they do. And by the way, I'm not discluding myself. I do the same thing too, all right? But that's the thing. That's where the problem lies. All these channels, what they do is they make videos telling you what a promoter said or what a fighter said, and then their subscribers look at that and they believe that this is the truth and this is what's going to happen and this is why it's his fault or it's his fault, right? And they blame it on this guy or this guy. Well, fuck that. Forget about that. I've been watching boxing long enough to know what's going on. Fuck whatever a promoter tells. When you see a promoter saying, oh, you know, this guy doesn't have the money, this guy didn't want to, you know, come to the meeting. When you see another promoter saying, this guy, you know, is lying, he's outpricing himself, he's not being realistic, all that is just nonsense, just trying to make excuses. That's what it is. It's making excuses. It's propaganda. It's lies. That's just a bunch of fucking lies. Fabrication. That's what it is. It's fucking lies. It's just a thing they put out there in the media so that boxing fans could see that and then they could blame the other team, right? They look at that and like, oh, it's this guy's fault, so I'm going to make a video saying it's this guy's fault. Or, oh, it's this guy's fault, and I'm going to make a video saying it's this guy's fault. Both Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua are greedy. They're greedy. They're greedy men. They're greedy and they want your money. Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua want your fucking money. You understand me? You understand where I'm coming from? They want your money. They don't want your loyalty. They don't want your, you know, love letters. They want your money. They want your hard-earned money. They want you to pay $80 to watch them fight in Wembley. What they're trying to do is purposely make this fight not happen for years, for several years, in order to milk it as much as they possibly can. They're trying to milk it as much as they possibly can. I've seen this so many times in boxing. When Pacquiao fought Mayweather, both of these fucktards purposely made the boxing fans wait for 6 fucking years so that they could milk it as much as they fucking could. They waited because they're greedy motherfuckers. When Gennady Golovkin fought Canelo Alvarez, look at how long it took for them to fight. I remember back in 2013, people talking about the idea of Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo Alvarez. These two fucktards didn't fight until 2017. They waited for years. They waited so long that people were saying, oh, Gennady Golovkin is slipping. Remember that? People were saying Gennady Golovkin is slipping. Gennady Golovkin is slipping. GGG don't look the same. Canelo Alvarez only fighting him because he didn't look good against Danny Jacobs. You know, Danny Jacobs showed that Gennady Golovkin is past his best. So you see, they waited so long. They waited so long to milk that fucking fight. The boxing fans thought that Gennady Golovkin was shot by the time they fought. You see what I'm saying? This is what AJ and Wilder are doing. Back in 2016, Anthony Joshua became a champion. He won the IBF strap against bum-ass Charles Martin. The minute he beat bum-ass Charles Martin, the nobody, the bum, the minute he beat him, everybody started saying, Anthony Joshua, we want to see you fight Deontay Wilder. It is May 2018. So it's been 2 fucking years since the boxing public have been asking Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder to get in the fucking ring and face off. And these 2 fucking fucktards have not fought yet. So in 2 years, so right from the start, we've been waiting 2 years now. The minute AJ became a champion, we wanted to see him versus Wilder. Just like the minute Deontay Wilder won his WBC belt back in January of 2015, we all wanted to see him face Vladimir Klitschko. Deontay Wilder was too much of a pussy, too much of a punk to fight Vladimir Klitschko. He ducked Vladimir Klitschko. He ducked him because he didn't have the balls that Tyson Fury did. He didn't have the balls that Tyson Fury had. Tyson Fury had more balls than Wilder, so he went on to fight Vladimir Klitschko. Deontay Wilder ducked Vladimir Klitschko. But now, here a new guy became a champion, right? After that, which was, of course, Tyson Fury and, Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury got stripped. He became irrelevant. No one cares about him right now. Then Anthony Joshua became the golden child once he became the IBF champion. And we've been asking for 2 years. In the past 2 years, AJ has fought Joseph Parker, Vladimir Klitschko. He won all the belts. I have more respect for AJ than Deontay Wilder because AJ is taking more risk than Deontay Wilder. So I'll tell you that from right off the bat. But what pisses me off is these guys have been making us wait for 2 years already, and now you got AJ saying we got to build the fight more. Fuck that. They've already built the fight up for 2 years. We've been asking these guys to fight since 2016, homie. Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you why this fight's gonna happen in the year 2020. Right now, Anthony Joshua's promoter and Deontay Wilder's team are full of shit. They're pretending that these guys don't want to make the fight happen. Anthony Joshua is going to go on to fight Alexander Povetkin. Alexander Povetkin will fight Anthony Joshua sometime in July, August of this year. Deontay Wilder would then go on to defend his precious WBC belt against Dominic Breazeale, probably around the same time, July. After that, Deontay Wilder will not fight until 2019. Deontay Wilder is not going to fight for the remainder of this year. He's the rest of 2018 off. He'll be back in early 2019. I would say probably February, March. After Anthony Joshua beats Alexander Povetkin, because he will beat Alexander Povetkin, he's going to face either Jarrell Miller or Dillian Whyte, because Dillian Whyte will face Kurat Pulev. He'll beat Kurat Pulev because Kurat Pulev's overrated, and when he beats Kurat Pulev, he'll be in the mandatory spot for AJ. So he's probably going to have the rematch at the end of this year with AJ. He's probably going to have the rematch. Or against Jarrell Miller. I picked Anthony Joshua beating both Jarrell Miller and Dillian Whyte. After that, he won't fight until 2019. Now we're in 2019. At this point, Deontay Wilder is looking for a new opponent. They're going to keep coming up with excuses as to why he's not going to fight Anthony Joshua, and he's going to fight a guy that I would say is a mediocre guy. Maybe somewhere in the level of Eric Molina. Some bum. Right? Then, after that, he's going to come up with excuses as to why he can't, as to why, he's basically ducking Anthony Joshua. Then Anthony Joshua is going to have more title mandatories that he has to fulfill, right? And whoever's the mandatory for the IBF or the WBA or the WBO strap at that moment during the time of 2019, he will defend his belt against so they don't strip him against that guy, and he will probably beat that guy. Before you know it, it's the end of 2019. Now this is when these fighters, they start getting serious about making the fight happen, because at this point they've been building up the fight for over 4 years, and they know the boxing fans are tired of it. So they're going to end up promoting the fight late 2019, and the fight will happen by early to mid 2020. And you know what? I'm no prophet and I'm no psychic, but I want you guys to save this video, because if this actually ends up happening and these guys end up fighting in the year 2020, I hate to say it, but I told you so, and I'm a boxing prophet at that point. But yeah, I've seen this so many times, man. Like I said, forget about what all these boxing channels are saying. They're just repeating what what promoters are saying and what boxers are saying. We have to. Sometimes you got to think outside the box and look and see the history of the sport. Like I said, GGG versus Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo Alvarez is a perfect example. These guys waited 4 years to fight. Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao, another perfect example. These guys waited 6 years to fight. Every time there's a big fight or there's a big money fight, they always make us wait years for it to happen. The only fights that happen that we want to see that happen fast are the fights where these fighters are not big names. Like if the fighters are not draws and they're not cash cows, the fight gets made, like that instantaneously. Why? Because it's a fight everybody wants and they're demanding, and they're not a big draw, so they're not gonna make that much money from it anyway. But whenever these fights happen between two megastars, two superstars, where they're basically cash cows, or at least when there's one cash cow, they always make the fight happen. They drag the fight out. They make boxing fans wait for years. Like I said, Manny Pacquiao versus Mayweather, they were both cash cows. Both of them were the cash cows, so they made it drag on for 6 years. Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez was the cash cow in that situation. He dragged it out for 4 years. Right now, AJ's the cash cow in this Deontay Wilder versus AJ unification fight. So he's going to drag it out to 2020. They're going to drag it out, and they're going to make us wait. And like I said, you guys might think I'm crazy, but watch this come to fruition. Watch this come true. Watch these guys not fight until another 2.5 years maybe. Or maybe less, but around there. I give it over a year. I give it over that. Anyway, guys, subscribe, and I'm out.